All right, Math Maniacs, this is where we get to the nitty gritty. This video may be just a minute or two longer than the others. Here they want us to round to 3 decimal places. What is the correlation coefficient for this data set? So we're not estimating the correlation coefficient anymore. We're actually going to calculate it. And we're going to do that by going to Desmos.com. So here is Desmos.com. Whoopsie. There it is. All right, and I'm going to click on Start Graphing. Now, I highly recommend that you don't just watch me do this, that you try it too. Okay? My students know the only way to learn math is to do math. All right, so they had given me a table of data, and I am going to go ahead and put that table of data in here. Now, if you're working with an Excel spreadsheet or something, sometimes you can just copy and paste, but we just have a list, and so I'm going to put it in here. 85, 200. All right, and I'm going to pause the video while I put the rest of these numbers in. And you can restart me after you have them in. Okay, so hopefully you've got a chance to enter those numbers and you have a table that looks like mine. And the next thing I'm going to do is I can't see any of those points on my table. So there's two different ways I can do this. I can use my wrench over here and I can say, okay, my lowest X value is, what, 66? So I could start at 60. And my highest X value is 91, so I could go from 60 to 100. And then my y-axis, my lowest value looks like 100. And my highest y value is 200. I'm going to put in 210 just so I can see. And then I click on the graph and I can kind of see what's going on here. Another way to do that, if that's complicated, is just click on the minus sign until you can see your graph. Okay, until you can see your dots. All right, now I see a linear pattern forming here. It's fairly strong. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess that this is going to be, and this is kind of a risk here because I don't know the right answer, but I'm going to guess that, our correlation coefficient is going to be around 0.8. I can see that it's positive, and I can see that those dots are fairly close together. Okay? All right, now to find it for real, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here in the second block, and I'm going to put in the equation of a line. Remember, the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. So when I type it in, I have to do it just a little differently. I'm going to type in y sub 1, because we're telling it to look up here at this table. And then I'm going to use the tilde key, which I can either hit shift and the tilde key on my keyboard. It's right under my escape key on the top left of my physical keyboard. Or I can go in here to this keyboard, change it to ABC, and find the tilde mark here along the bottom. Either way works, okay? So y sub 1 equals m, which is slope, times x sub 1, again, we're just telling it to look at that column, plus b. And remember, the plus b part is your y-intercept, okay? So now we've got the line, and we've got our line of best fit. And if we look in this box here, R is our correlation coefficient. I wasn't too far off. I said I thought it'd be around 0.8, and it is. It's 0.8378. 0.8378. So let's go back to our question. And it says, so let's just write down what we got there. 0.8. How about I use a pen instead of the highlighter? What do you think? Think that might work better? I think it will. Let's try that again. There we go. Let's go to the pen. So, 0.8378 is our correlation coefficient. Remember, correlation coefficient we represent with R. They told us to round to 3 decimal places. So what I want to do is I want to look at the third place after the decimal. And then I decide, am I going to leave it alone or am I going to round it up? And when I look at the next number, if it's 5 or greater, I round up. So I'm going to say, if I'm rounding to 3 decimal places, that it's approximately equal to 0.838. Whoops. 38. There we go. I said one thing and wrote another.